Oh, you know what? It's June, but my wife just made me watch a Christmas movie, which brought up eggnog. So I'm using almond milk to make the eggnog today. And the reason I'm doing this is because, well, first of all, I had someone from New Jersey ask me if I would make the eggnog recipe. And then I had another person from Van ask me if I'd make the eggnog recipe. So basically, I'm going to take the whole carton of almond milk. And my wife likes the almond milk better because it's not so overfilling. And I'm just going to turn it on to about 5. Because all we got to do is basically, don't have to bring it to a full boil, but enough to be able to cook the eggs. Then I'm going to put in a half a cup of sugar. I'm going to put in a little nutmeg. And this is half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And then just remember, you can always put a little more nutmeg on top of it, which is what most people do. This is cloves, and cloves is like very strong, so you don't want to put in as much. So I'm not even going to probably put in a full 1/8. Most of the time, what they do with the cloves is they'll just throw in a couple of whole cloves and they'll take it out before it finishes. But I happen to like the taste of cloves. And then as far as the cinnamon goes, we'll do more closer to a teaspoon. And then some vanilla. And we'll stir that up. And then we'll move on to the eggs. So I do mine a little bit different. Basically, I fluff up the egg whites first. And I'm not going to make you watch all the way, but then once I get the egg whites to the stage where they're, you know, basically you can turn it aside, it's not going to go anywhere. We'll keep this stirring, but what I'm going to do is I take the egg yolks and I mix it directly in there before I fold it into here, because when I grew up, you know, you'll see a lot of people just use the yolks and leave out the egg whites and everything else. You know what? That was like a huge part of the thickening, and also, you know, you want that protein in there. So I do it kind of like I do with the chili rellenos, where once I get this stiff, then I'll put in the egg yolks. Now with the chili rellenos, you put a little flour, but it's basically the same type of process. So let me get this heated up, and then we'll move on. Okay, so this is it's not to a boil yet, but it is getting warm enough so I'll be able to temper that, and then put it back in there and stir it till it thickens up a little bit, and we'll be done. So basically, I'm going to take my yolks, I'm going to pour them in there, mix them up real quick. That's enough. Let me set this over here. By the way, my wife said to tell you that I picked out almond milk on purpose for this because she likes it better. But you could use any milk. You know, you can use the skim milk. You can use whole milk, whatever you like. You know, the egg is what does the thickening. So I'm going to go ahead and start tempering it a little bit here. And then when you're done, you can run it through a sieve just to make sure that you completely get out any lumps or anything like that where some of the egg may have overcooked or something. Here we go. And like I said, a lot of times what they do is they just throw the egg whites out, or they use it for something else or whatever. But the truth is, you know, that's a lot of protein you're wasting. And that was one of the reasons that eggnog was made, so it was a good drink for especially like Christmas time, but it also gave you the protein because remember, you're eating all the cookies and all the other junk. So all I'm going to do is let it thicken up here, and then we're done. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next event. Figured I better have the taster test tried out and let you know what she thinks.
Yum.
And we'll see you at Christmas time making this from the food pantry.